The doors to the Viridian tea house are open once more. Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Got some books, got some tea, got some tea information and knowledge for you. So if you're ready, let's begin. But first, I do want to announce that, this Saturday, tomorrow, I'm recording this on Friday, at the Eugene Field Branch Library in Denver, there will be a Denver Public Library Friends Foundation book sale. The hours are from 10 to 2, I think, and it's going to be in one of the meeting rooms of the Eugene Field Branch Library. It's a really cool library, so if you're trying to look for things to do on Saturday, please stop by. I'll be volunteering. Some really good folks will be there, and I mean, who can say no to a really good book sale? Plus, you're helping out the Denver Public Library Friends Foundation. So that is Saturday, this coming Saturday, the 18th, from 10 until 2. And then also this coming Monday is the Thanksgiving market at the Wheat Ridge Co-op. And it's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And the hours are from 9 until 2. So if you need some last minute, something really cool to add to your Thanksgiving meal, there will be a plethora of vendors there. I will have my tea. Although I'm probably going to be stressed out because, little side note, so I'm in the process of completing a 150 bag order for my alma mater, American University. And this weekend, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to be bagging a lot of tea, but many thanks to the College of Arts and Sciences at my alma mater. Go Eagles, once an Eagle, always an Eagle. And I can't wait for them to try the blends that I'll be shipping to them. All right, so I got some books, got tea, and let's do this. So the first book I've actually read before, many years ago, and I wanted to read it again because I really didn't remember too much of it, except for the ending. And reading it a second time made me realize just how wickedly cruel and hysterical this book is. Amsterdam by Ian McEwan. I love this book. I loved it. And as I was reading it, many thanks to Inglewood Public Library for having this book, I thought, I just don't remember too much about it. Like, I remember the premise, but then when I dove into it, I was like, oh yeah, this is wickedly wonderful. It really, really was. Let me read the back of it for you. On a chilly February day, two old friends meet in the throng outside a London crematorium to pay their last respects to Molly Lane. Both Clive Lindley and Vernon Halliday had been Molly's lovers in the days before they reached their current eminence. Clive is Britain's most successful modern composer, and Vernon is editor of the newspaper The Judge. Gorgeous, feisty Molly had other lovers too, notably Julian Garmany. I could not stand Julian, but then at the end I kind of changed my mind. Foreign Secretary, a notorious right-winger, tipped to be the next prime minister. In the days that follow Molly's funeral, Clive and Vernon will make a pact with consequences that neither could have foreseen. Each will make a disastrous moral decision. Their friendship will be tested to its limits, and Julian Garmany will be fighting for his political life. A sharp contemporary morality tale, cleverly disguised as a comic novel, Amsterdam is, quote-unquote, as sheerly enjoyable a book as one is likely to pick up this year. Well, when it was published. Absolutely Black humor, very British Black humor, and the end was kind of justified, and I hate saying that, but it really was justified for the two main characters, Vernon and Clive. But if you are if you're into British literature as much as I am, I mean, Ian McEwan, you cannot go wrong with him. You really cannot. And it does receive 5 pots of tea from Viridian Tea House. So it was nice to return to this book, and it stands the test of time. And it's funny, on the cover, this did win the Booker Prize, I want to say. I think it did. But someone quoted as saying, a dark tour de force, perfectly fashioned. I can't say it any better. But yes, Amsterdam is quite the dark comedic morality novel. It really is. So many thanks. Many thanks to Inglewood Public Library, and many thanks to Ian McEwan for still writing such biting British literature. So now we're going to go to France. Oh, love France. And this book, this is my second book that I've read by this particular author, and I love the way she writes. Love how she takes the same words that all of us have access to, and she turns it into such a beautiful book with a character that I absolutely hated. I hated this man. Such a narcissistic asshole, self-centered, shallow, and yet at the very end, I think I kind of sort of liked him. This is The Other Story by Tatiana de Rosnay. This book, I made an Instagram post where I said, I didn't think I was going to love this book as much as I did. And how this story is centered around this author, this character that is, the way that she writes him, you're like, I just want you to go away. But yet, I kept turning the pages. So let me read the dust jacket for you. Vacationing at a luxurious Tuscan island resort, Nicolas Duhamel, now a best-selling author, is hopeful that the ghosts of his past have finally been put to rest. When he was 24 years old, he stumbled upon a troubling secret about his family, a secret that was carefully concealed. In shock, Nicholas embarked on a journey to uncover the truth that took him from the Basque coast to St. Petersburg, but the answers wouldn't come easily. In the process of digging into his past, something else happened. Nicholas began writing a novel that was met with phenomenal success, skyrocketing him to literary fame whether he was ready for it or not, and convincing him that he had put his family's history firmly behind him. But now, years later, Nicholas must re-examine everything he thought he knew as he learns that, however deeply buried, the secrets of the past always find a way out. Page-turning, layered, and beautifully written, The Other Story is a reflection on identity, the process of being a writer, and the repercussions of generations-old decisions as they echo into the present and shape the future. And about the author, Tatiana de Rosnay is the author of 10 novels, including the New York Times bestselling novels Sarah's Key and A Secret Kept. Sarah's Key was an international sensation with over 5 million copies sold in 38 countries worldwide and has now been made into a major motion picture. I've not read the book nor seen the movie, but now I really kind of want to. Together with Dan Brown and Stieg Larsson, Tatiana was named one of the top 3 fiction writers in Europe in 2010. She lives with her husband and 2 children in Paris, where she is at work on her next book. And visit her online at her website, which I will include on this video. And yes, I hated this man. And I noticed on Goodreads, a lot of the 1 and 2 star reviews were basically like, I hate this guy. I hate this character. Why should I care? Why should I read this person? She missed the mark. I didn't like it. And you're entitled to your own opinion. You really are. And as I'm reading this book and I'm getting deeper and deeper into Nicholas's life and his struggles while being on this luxurious island, I'm thinking, wow, I love this book. I hate him, but I really love this book. This was just such a beautiful, beautifully written book. At the very end, there is a tragedy. And that's why I said at the very end, I kind of sort of liked him, because it was through this other tragedy. He already dealt with tragedy throughout this book, but at the end, this one moment, I think, knocked some sense back into his brain. I think so. I would love to read a book that's like the next day about Nicholas, but I really hope that because of everything that he went through, that he finally gets it and maybe says, yeah, those years were kind of a bad spot, but I've got my head screwed on straight and now I'm following this path. I can't give it away. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but this was, and it's interesting too, because there are some thoughts up in here about the writing process, about being a writer, and just reading his thoughts about how, he didn't expect to get published, but, this was his first novel, and overnight, he's being a model for watches, and women adore him, and people want to be like him, and, he gets to sleep with all these women, and, and I don't know, like I kind of think about like my own writing, I'm the author of like 17, 18 books. No, about 15 to 18 books. And I think to myself, if one of my books ever got really big, like, Harry Potter kind of big, would I act like Nicholas where, anytime a fan came up to him, he groaned inwardly and put on his fake smile, or he would demand better service because, damn it, don't you know who I am? I wrote that book called The Envelope, don't you know? And I thought, I don't think I would act like that. I really don't. I mean, I would be shocked. I would be pleasantly surprised, but I wouldn't suddenly purchase a gold-plated toilet. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was interesting to see how fame changed him, because before he was just a philosophy teacher and living with a woman, and he had a very simple life and it was great. And then fame grabbed him by the lapels and shook him really hard, and he just became this asshole. He really did. But then at the end, like I said, with the tragedy, I hope he learned something, and I hope he changed for the better. But I could go on, but The Other Story by Tatiana de Rosnay will keep you gripped. It is a page turner for me, and it does receive 5 pots of tea from Viridian Tea House. And actually, if I remember correctly, I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, mostly because of Nicholas. But, and also too, there are a couple of loose ends that were never really tied up. And that's okay. That's just life. Sometimes loose ends don't get tied up and they just kind of sit there. There was one instance regarding his girlfriend, and I kind of wanted to know more about that, but I'm happy with what she did. So the Goodreads was 4 stars, but it really is, it's a 5-star book in my opinion. It really, really is. So I truly enjoyed it. Many thanks to Inglewood Library for having this book again. And if Tatiana is watching this, merci beaucoup. Merci. All right, so on to the tea. So today's tea comes from one of my favorite tea companies, but they're all my favorite. Stash Tea Company, and this is Moroccan Mint Mindfulness. So Stash is located in, where are they located? I think they're located in Oregon. I think so. It's not even on here. I don't know. I think they're located in Oregon. I think so. But yes, I love Moroccan mint tea. And just a little bit of history about Moroccan mint, in case if you want to know. So Moroccan mint tea is also known as Algerian mint tea. It is a North African drink, and the original recipe consists of gunpowder green tea, the little the tea leaves where they're rolled up like gunpowder pellets, spearmint leaves, and sugar. Lots of sugar. So I got this from the website Stories About Tea, and I'll put the website link on the video once it's done. So gunpowder green tea arrived in northern Africa through British merchants between the 18th and 19th century. Because there was a scarcity of coffee in Morocco, the demand for Moroccan mint tea grew exponentially. And during a formal tea ceremony, the preparations start, and this is from Stories About Tea website, by the way. The preparation starts with boiling water on a stove. After rinsing out the traditional Moroccan teapot or barad with some of the boiling water, green tea is added to the empty teapot alongside another small amount of boiling water. The gunpowder tea is then left to steep for a short while, or what's known as the spirit of the tea. I really like that. It's poured into a glass. Subsequently, the mint leaves and sugar are added alongside more boiling water, and then steeping for a little while. The tea is served 3 separate times, each providing a different flavor. I don't think I've ever done this before, but I have heard of this. So depending on the time of the tea and the mint leaves have been steeping, depending on how long they have been. The story goes that the first cup is as gentle as life, the second as strong as love, and the third as bitter as death. So the next time you want to try something different with a little bit of tradition, try some Moroccan mint. It's a really good kind of tea. So with the Moroccan mint mindfulness through stash, the ingredients here, it's green tea, spearmint, lemongrass, and peppermint. And as they say, inspired by Morocco's sweet mint tea, we bring you our own unique Moroccan mint. Delicious, hot or iced, this tea is a refreshing oasis that you'll be glad you ventured into. Wonderful plain or with a customary spoonful of sugar. So I made mine with a little bit of Colorado honey in my lovely craft mug. So from me to you, a little bit of Moroccan mint mindfulness provided by Stash Tea Company. First, let me say that when I prepared the tea, the kitchen got a nice scent of mint. It was wonderful. And I thought, this box is not going to last the weekend. It's really not. But this is smooth and balanced. And you know what? The honey adds the sweetness, the natural sweetness. But unlike with sugar, where it's just sweet, the honey enhances all of the ingredients. So I'm feeling actually a lot calmer, and although my shoulders are up, and the honey just kind of adds that little extra something different, but it still makes it a nice, sweet, minty, relaxing cup of tea. So many thanks again to Stash for the Moroccan mint mindfulness. And speaking of mindfulness, let's go ahead and do our meditation. Make sure that you have a glass of water or a cup of your favorite tea. Find yourself in a comfortable position. We're just going to focus on our breathing. You guys know the drill. So if you're ready, let's begin. And now let's end this breathing meditation with a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly open your eyes or allow your eyes to come into focus again. And now let's have a sip of water or tea. Heavenly. So that's all I have for today. I may not be doing a video next week because, as you know, it's Thanksgiving and the holidays are upon us. If I do, it might be later next week, but for right now, I might be taking a week off. But many thanks to Ian McEwan, Tatiana de Rosnay, the good folks at Stash Tea Company, also the website, The Stories About Tea, and always to you. You wonderful, crazy, wild people watching these videos that sometimes don't make any sense. I thank you so much for being here. And as always, take care of yourself and each other. Raise your huge tea mug high and remember that to drink tea is to enjoy life. I will see you guys really soon. Bye for now.